Okay, well, I'm gonna discuss more about the concept of snap and go over some of the concepts that I've written about. Blake and I have talked about. I can tell you that first of all, there's more than one way to skin a cat. There's more than one way to throw frisbees. There's no doubt about it in my mind. But there's one universal fundamental: is that the people who understand snap or can do snap, whether they understand it or not, are really the most powerful players. They can throw with the most ease of motion, and they can throw with the most power with the least effort. The thing is, the snap to me has been like one of the most elusive things to teach because it happens so quickly, and there are more than one way to snap a disc. I'm going to show you the way that I do it, which is what I consider to be more like, say, Timmy Gill, the Timmy Gill way he snaps. He throws almost exclusively with what I call disc pivot or snap. It goes beyond just an acceleration. It's actually a mechanical motion. I've tried to show you some of the slow motion of myself snapping and coming from the chest and literally snapping. And I've been talking about the technique of throwing around the nose, which is universally what everyone really does, whether they know it or not. Their hand starts at what I call the 9 o'clock position. They end up moving into the apex of their throw, which is the apex is where your throw starts to become rotational. You know, Blake calls it the front pec position, throwing from the front pec, right into the front pec and out. This is where we're rotational over our front leg. Once you start to reach that point and start to push out away from that, you reach what I call the apex. At the point of the apex is when the forward momentum of the disc starts to push your arm forward. It's bowing. You can see my wrist is starting to bow back, even though if I fight it as hard as I throw, if I fight that as hard as I want, trying not to let my wrist bend, it will still bend. And then at the last moment where I start to feel all the weight of the disc on the other side of the disc, I swing around the nose and actually propel the disc forward. Now what you're actually doing is you have to think of the disc more like a hammer or a tomahawk or something like that, something with a handle. You're holding the handle and the weight is actually on the other side of the disc. This is kind of like the Germans. They had a hand grenade that they put a long broomstick on so you could throw it a lot further than the American hand grenade, which you just threw kind of like a baseball, because you could actually swing the lever out and create this leverage action, which creates this instantaneous acceleration of the center of the disc. You're not throwing the center of gravity. The center of gravity of this disc is here, but you're holding it over here. In fact, there's a lot of weight on the other side of the disc. The other side of the disc, past the center of gravity, has half the weight. So as you enter this point where you've loaded up one side, you're holding the handle side, and this is the head side. You're actually taking the once you reach a certain point and you start to open your wrist, that's why the disc feels so heavy, because of the momentum, because of this distance. And you're actually wanting to throw the other side of the disc, and this is what I call a disc pivot. You're actually pivoting the disc, and the pivot creates this instantaneous forward motion. And I throw, like I said, my method is to have a very strong thumb index finger lock, very much like what I consider like Timmy Gill does, and then the rest of my fingers go on the disc, but I'm actually holding the disc with my thumb and my index finger with, say, a rock or a putter. Then say with a Wraith or something, Destroyer, Boss, what have you, I've actually used two fingers, and I have pretty big hands, and I still have to do this. I lock these two fingers together and I use my thumb. So I'm holding it like that, and then my other two fingers go on a normal power grip. But all of my emphasis is really on my thumb lock, because all I'm trying to do is hold the handle out as long as I can to throw the head out and away, right down the line. So the disc is moving right down the line, but it's more like if you took a hammer and threw it this way, and that's part of the reason, the other reason you get the rotation. But it also explains why in my tests, the smaller the rim, the faster the disc goes. Typically what I'm seeing is putters go, say, 60 miles an hour, rock will go 55, and a